Hello friends, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be providing you with a review of this foundation, which you would have seen in the title, but this is the Covergirl Olay Advanced Radiance Age-Defying Makeup and Sunscreen. I ordered this when I was ordering some other items off of iHerb, and this popped up and I thought, you know, one of my favorite drugstore foundations is a CoverGirl foundation, and also the moisturizer that I keep going back to in my morning skincare routine is the Olay Regenerist Enhancing UV Lotion. I know that there's lots of issues with Olay. I know that, you know, a lot of people have opinions about their products. They're not necessarily the best company from what some people have shared with me. But this, my skin just really loves it. So I thought, you know, I am in my early 40s. I could use some age-defying, and also it seems to have ingredients in it that maybe my skin will really like. So this is not a, I do have in here a video of a wear test day. However, this is not a first impression. I've been using this for, I want to say 6 weeks, but to be fair, I'm not using makeup very often, so I've probably used this for about 10 to 15 days of wear overall, trying it out in a number of different ways, different primers, different powders, different methods of application, so that I could really come to an informed opinion about it. So before we get into that wear test day and before I give you all of my opinions, let me tell you exactly what this foundation claims. The description on CoverGirl's website says, "Take 5 years off the look of your skin. This smooth liquid foundation with an exclusive Olay aminopeptide complex blends into the skin, covering fine lines and wrinkles for radiant, beautiful coverage that actually helps give you a youthful appearance. Pair with Advanced Radiance pressed powder to set your look." I did not get that powder. I've tried a number of different powders with it. I did get the shade 110 Classic Ivory. And I will say that the way that iHerb works is a little funny because it's not like you go to the product and then it has all of the different shades underneath. I just kind of found a shade, like each shade is a different listing, if that makes sense. However, I was a little surprised to find out when I actually went to look at what CoverGirl says about this product. The shade range in this is terrible. I will just insert a screenshot here. Not only do they only have 10 shades, but Creamy Natural seems to be, well, maybe Classic Beige, either Classic Beige or Creamy Natural is the deepest that it goes, which is not even into like the mid-tone of skin ranges. And I did wonder if this was maybe because some of the shades were sold out. So I went to like Walmart's webpage to see, and they also had the same 10 shades listed with a couple crossed out, like to show that they were sold out. So this definitely isn't just that shades were sold out. They just don't have anywhere near a good shade range for this. So the benefits that they list for this, in addition to saying that it's going to make you look younger and smooth out fine lines and wrinkles, they say the benefits are buildable coverage that works with the rest of your makeup routine, which is a little funny because saying that a foundation works with your makeup routine doesn't really sound like a benefit, it sounds like a given. But they also say that it's a lightweight formula that feels great all day. They say that it is for normal and sensitive skin types. They specifically do not say it's for oily. They say that it is light coverage and that between matte, natural, and radiant, that it is a radiant finish. So those are the claims that we're going to be basing it on. Does it make my skin look younger? Does it, you know, work for my skin? Because my skin tends to be sort of normal combination. I'm not super dry, I don't have dry patches, but I'm not crazy oily. I get a little oily by the end of the day in my T-zone. Does the coverage match up with what they say? Is it radiant? Is it lightweight? That's what we're gonna test it on. So let me get into the day of wear. And I will say this is not a first impression day. I think I mentioned this in the footage. I had been wearing it for a while. I just wanted to wear it the best possible way I could from all the different combinations that I found and show you that day. Here we go. To give this foundation the absolute best shot, I'm gonna take everything that I've learned from using it over a number of weeks and try to do the best possible application, and then we'll see how it does through the day today. So I have washed and moisturized my face and did that a little while ago, so the moisturizer had time to sink in. I used my current favorite primer, which is the Ciate Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I seem to always have great foundation days whenever I wear this, so I decided to use this. And I'm going to apply it with a sponge to give like the lightest possible layer of this foundation. I'm also going to apply it from the back of my hand onto my face, again, so I can sort of control the amount that I'm using. Would you like to be a little closer while I do this? I've sort of completely changed how I approach, not completely changed, that sounds dramatic. It used to be that I would start the application in the middle of my face because the idea was I wanted sort of higher coverage there. Somebody mentioned, and I've started doing this, one of the other YouTubers, I'm gonna forget who it is now, they start their foundation sort of towards the outside of their face and blend in. So it's actually like the lightest amount of layer of product on the inside of the face, which sort of makes it look the most natural. So I guess it kind of depends on if you want a high level of coverage or if you want it to be very skin-like. As you know, if you've watched my channel before, I don't have like a huge amount of like blemishes and stuff to cover up. So what I'm doing is going for, you know, most of the time a medium to low coverage look because I like my freckles to come through a little bit. And I really want my foundation to look as skin-like as possible. So you can see it's sort of evening out. I have a little bit more here than on this side, and I'm still going to do my forehead, obviously. So I'm ending up using 2 pumps of foundation, but honestly, a good part of that is just that, you know, the sponge does soak up a fair bit of it. That's gonna be like a lot for my forehead, but let me just do a little bit more on this side. I probably could have gotten away with like 1 pump, actually. I'll probably have a little bit left on my hand. Use some of the excess onto my neck just so I can blend this pretty well. This is not my favorite sponge. This is the Quo brand from Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada. It works fine, but it's definitely not as soft as a beauty blender, and it feels a little bit more like with the beauty blender, if I press a little bit harder on my face, it just sort of like evens out the product. This one I find leaves a few more like a beauty blender marks than an actual beauty blender. So there we go. I do think this looks gorgeous on first application. I do need to go and still, actually let me do my lids a little bit too. Make sure everything is even. A lot of times lately, if I've been doing like my eye makeup, I will do like my eye primer and eyeliner and everything before I do my foundation. So I'm not as used to going in across my lids now with my foundation. So there we go. I think this looks really natural, really beautiful. There's like a nice glow to it on first application. And I'll just zoom you in to show you even closer. That feels like a lot, but let's do it. So you can see there's that glow there, and it has, you know, even things out, but still looks very natural. It does look a little more glowy because I do have this light here, which sort of reflects a little bit more. But yeah, it looks pretty good at this point. I am going to go get the rest of my makeup on, and then I'll be back to show you what I did in sort of setting my face. And then we will start from there and wear test this through the day today. I've ended up doing really minimal makeup today, and I didn't add anything to my face like a highlighter or a setting spray that would add dewiness or make it harder to see where the foundation might be getting like drier or dewier through the day. So what I did was I used just a little bit of my Instant Age Rewind concealer from Maybelline just under my eyes. Like I didn't bring it down to triangle or anything, so it's just under my eyes, so not even really where I have the foundation. I set my face with this loose setting powder. It's the Ciate Everyday Vacay powder. Very light dusting of that. And then the only thing that might be giving me a little bit of glow is I use this Laura Geller blush, and it does have some glow in it. This is the Baked Blush and Brighten Tropic Hues blush. So that's what I used. The rest of my makeup, again, super easy, straightforward. For my eyes, I used a little bit of this Natasha Denona Duochrome. I think it's supposed to be a topper, but I just put on a little bit. It's just a bit of sparkle. Duochrome top coat. This is in burnt terracotta and green. I then did a little bit of liner with my Scone Insanely Intense Tattooed Waterproof Eyeliner. I've really been enjoying this. And then for my lashes, I used the Wander Beauty Mile High Club Volume and Length Mascara. And then the only other thing that I used is the lip product, which is one that I received in this month's Ipsy. It is the Kiss and Smink Lip Crayon, and it is in the shade Mariatas, and it does end up not being quite as dark as it shows in the end, but I like that, so I am liking this product so far. So that is that. It is currently 10:30, but I really put the foundation on at like 10, so we're gonna say that's the start of the day, and I think we're gonna aim for like 10 hours of wear time, so until 8 p.m. tonight, so we'll see. I'll do some check-ins through the day, and we'll see how it goes. Hey guys. It is 3:15, so this has been on for a little over 5 hours. I am noticing that it's starting to feel a little heavy and oily on my forehead, and also here my pores are like really highlighted there, which is not really what I'm going for. And it does have a bit of a feeling to it, like if I'm sort of sitting there and leaning on my hand, I can feel the foundation, which isn't out of the ordinary, but just something to note. But yeah, mostly it's just feeling heavy on my forehead and a little bit around here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I'm going to zoom you in to show you. So mostly here, you can see how it's sort of getting quite oily looking, and it really is sort of highlighting my pores there. It doesn't look like it's getting cakey or anything anywhere, but it's just feeling very like it's getting a little oily. And I'll be back to check in again later. It is now 8 p.m. I've had this on for 10 hours. Yes, that's correct. And I have thoughts, and they are the same thoughts that I've been having the entire time that I've been testing this foundation. I love the way it looks when it first applies. It doesn't look bad through the day, but I just do find that I get a little oily and a little heavy by the end of the day in sort of my T-zone area. I think you can see it here. I mean, you see the reflection here that's happening. I also took a photo that I think shows it a little in different light, literally than this. But yeah, it does start to feel like I just kind of want to get it off my face because it's a little heavy. Now, it doesn't look bad close up at this point, and I apologize. I've now just been touching my face, but it doesn't look heavy or cakey. It's not cracking or breaking anywhere. It just looks oily. And it's that kind of heavy, oily feeling where, yes, I could powder on top of it, but then I feel like I'd be making it feel even heavier. So I'm gonna leave that there for now, and then we will get on to the conclusion of this video. I do have to say though, the star of today's wear test, which I was not expecting, this lip product, I mean, it's pretty much gone now, but I needed to go out and do a grocery pickup. I've been doing the like order ahead and have them drop the groceries in your trunk. And I did that, my pickup was at 6 p.m. And I noticed when I was looking in my car's like mirror that the lipstick was still there. I mean, there's still a little bit of it now, but I did just have like a bite to eat, but it hung in there through drinking coffee, and it left a really nice stain on my lips. So that, I know this isn't what the video is about, but this is the Kiss and Smink lip crayon, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Again, I know that's not what the video is about, but just thought I would let you guys know. Okay, back to other Melissa. I mentioned this in the wear test day, or at least I think I did. I filmed that wear test day a little while ago now. But this looks gorgeous when it first is applied. If I had to go out for a, I don't know, half a day or something, I would definitely wear this. It feels nice when you first put it on. It really does make my skin look smoother. Like, it feels like it just makes my skin look really lovely when it first goes on. However, it just gets so heavy feeling by the end of the day, even on me, somebody who is not particularly oily. I'm glad they didn't say this was for all skin types. It clearly is not for oily skin, but even with somebody who just gets maybe a little oily in my T-zone, and honestly, for a lot of foundations, they don't get oily on me during the day. This just got so oily feeling, but then also so heavy. And it really started to feel heavy in places on my face I didn't want it to. So, I mean, it says it's a radiant finish. I think it's somewhat radiant. I mean, it's not the glowiest foundation I've ever seen. And I also would say that this isn't really light coverage. You can have light, but you can also build it up to be more medium, and they do say that it's buildable. But I would not say this is lightweight, and it's just not my favorite. They also make a pretty big deal about this being a sunscreen, but the SPF on this is only 10. And there are so many foundations that are out there that have a higher level of SPF. Either way, please don't be relying on your foundation for your SPF. You should be really putting that on as your base as part of your skincare, because the amount of foundation you tend to use is not enough to really give you, a lot of coverage from the sun. It's not bad, it's not gonna hurt, but SPF 10 would never protect my skin. So what I find most telling is on the days where I knew I only go into work now once every 6 weeks, but on the days I was doing that, or in the days where I was meeting up with some friends for an outdoor coffee or for a walk, I wasn't turning to this because I just didn't like the way that it felt and looked as it wore through the day. And I never really found the right combination to make it feel lightweight and not get that heavy feeling by the end of the day. What I will say, the one that I do go to that is also a CoverGirl drugstore foundation, and I've done reviews on this before and I've repurchased it, which for me, because I tend to try a lot of different things, is a big deal. I go for the CoverGirl Outlast Active. I love the way this looks on my skin. I love the way it wears. It also has an SPF. It's an SPF of 20. So if you are looking at these, especially if you have oilier skin, I would go towards the CoverGirl Outlast Active. Perhaps if you have super dry skin, this might be a good one for you to try, because I do think that with some of the Olay that's in there, it does give a little bit more moisture. But just for me, this is probably going to be one of those ones that I end up using when I'm filming because it looks nice on camera. I only wear it perhaps for a couple of hours if I'm doing filming. But for, days where I'm going out and interacting with the world for a long time, even at a distance interacting with the world, this is the one that I go for. This is currently my go-to foundation. So it's definitely not the worst that I've tried, but I have others that are more favorites. Let me know, you guys, what is your favorite drugstore foundation? For someone like me who likes a lighter coverage, who likes things to feel lightweight, I just want something that's going to really smooth my skin out, maybe take down a little bit of redness, and just feel nice and lightweight and look like my skin through the day. Let me know what it is that you would recommend for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy my foundation reviews, please give this a thumbs up. I was about to say applying. You don't need to apply. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.